After a 2023-2024 where the Crusaders are picked to place fifth in the WAC, they exceed expectations. The most wins ever in a regular season, the first regular season conference championship in team history. They go to Kansas City after hosting the first two rounds of the NAIA tournament. Some would say it was historical, to say the least. It was a short end in Kansas City with a Sweet 16 exit, but head coach Noel Emenhiser retools his squad this year before an upcoming year that holds a lot to right. 2023-2024 was historical. 2024-2025 is unwritten. Sean Massa, I'm right here. I'll take you with Noel Emenhiser to start things off right now. Sean Massa joined first by head coach Noel Emenhiser. Coach, let's go back to last year. Let's start at the very beginning. You're picked fifth in the preseason poll in the conference. You end up having the greatest season this program's ever had. What was that like for you as a coach, seeing your group of guys just go through adversity? Everyone picked against you, and you just completely destroyed expectations.
It was a really neat experience to be a part of. As I did the preseason ballot at the start of last year, I picked us fifth, not because I believed we would finish there, but on paper, that made sense, and we always try to vote, with a lot of integrity as well. So what this group had and still has, I think, is a level of confidence that allows them to grow into the vision of themselves. So I'm not going to lie, I had a lot of question marks in the preseason as we headed into the regular season last year, and we had scheduled a really difficult non-conference schedule. Receiving Votes team, Hope International early, and we knew we were playing Grace, and we knew we had a really good schedule. And I thought that if we could work our way through that in a positive way, and I don't want to say survive, but if we could grow through some adversity early in the season, that we had a chance to be a really good team. That group didn't just grow through adversity, they thrived through it. So early setback against Grace with immediate bounce back and playing really great Hope International to Huntington and those teams, and they just built confidence and momentum as the season went on. And the level of consistency that they played with was really what set them apart as a team, and the ability to believe and win close games, I thought, was something that was truly remarkable and just a joy to be a part of.
And then we talk about last season. You returned that big three of Brendan Young, Isaac Anderson, Matthew McClellan. You get a lot of big portal additions, some big freshman names. You guys are picked preseason to win the WAC this year. What is that like, knowing that now you guys got that target on your back? Everyone's trying to dethrone the Crusaders.
Yeah, really different situation. A year ago, we were working in the dark. Nobody was concerned about us on their schedule, and they, maybe tried to get ready for us at the time. Now in the offseason, teams are gearing their strategy, they're gearing their roster to come at Madonna, and that's a great spot to be in, but it's a challenge as well. As I think back over the last 10 years in the conference, it's hard to find a year where the preseason favorite won the league. So that expectation is something that we have to embrace and we have to prepare for. That challenge, that knowing that we're going to be a big game for a lot of other schools, is something that we have to really lean into and be prepared to be at our best every single night, because we know we're going to see our opponent's best.
And then we talk about last season. You graduate two of your bigger shooting threats, but also two of your biggest leaders on the court, Ryan Nunn, Devin Dunn, two big-name seniors in the backcourt. How do you as a coach, go about not only replacing the shooting on the court, but the leadership that some people might not see?
Yeah, great question. In a lot of ways, those two players are not replaceable. And the year before that, with a great senior class, another group of irreplaceable seniors, and the year before that, irreplaceable seniors. And I think maybe the thing I'm most proud of in our program is that each year we graduate these players that you can't replace, and the next group steps in and becomes irreplaceable in their own right. So our challenge is going to be to authentically allow this group of seniors to be the best possible leaders they can be, put them in a position to be successful as players. But they're not going to do it the same way that Devin Dunn and Ryan Nunn did, and I don't think anybody can. So we've got to find a way to help this group to be just as successful or more successful than the previous groups.
And now we talk about this group, some big portal additions, some big freshman names, and obviously the big names returning. Some may call this the deepest team you've had in your coaching career. How does having that immense depth change your coaching style and your rotation management throughout the year?
Yeah, we want to put this group in a position where it can be on its best each and every night, but then also as we grow through the season, we want to be our best in March. So we're going to try to put our players in the best possible position to succeed, and we do have the ability to play a little deeper, I believe, this year. So I hope that we can play really hard. I hope that we can use that depth to hopefully wear down opponents throughout the course of a game, but then for also our sake to stay healthy, fresh as the season moves on. But that will be a challenge. Guys are going to have to be willing to make some sacrifices in terms of minutes and potential outward production and what the outside world looks or thinks about when they look in. So that's always a challenge with a experienced, quote unquote, talented and deep team, is making sure that our expectations are being fulfilled and matched internally so that we can get the best out of the group.
And we talk about expectations. Last year, exceeded all. You go to the Sweet 16. You go to Kansas City for the first time ever. How have you seen this program grow back from your playing days to now here in 2024?
Yeah. Well, in the early 2000s, we were a very much different program than we are today. We had great players, great people, but now we have an entire community. Our coaching staff is aligned and organized and provides great perspectives. Our boosters and alumni are so supportive and giving back and supporting the program. And the community rallies around the things that we've built and done, and we've become an attractive place to play and a place that students can come and learn and grow as human beings, but then also find a lot of success on the basketball court. So I'm really proud of that foundation that was here in the early 2000s and the people that were involved. But the countless hours of work and dedication and the people buying in and believing and pouring into our program have really allowed us to be a recognizable program around the NAIA and a staple in the WAC. And it's just something that we're really proud of. In the entire group that's worked together to put Madonna basketball in the position that it is something that I'll be forever grateful for.
I'm going to throw you a bit of a curveball here. After all the expectations last year, exceeding them all and getting places you've never been before with your teams, does that change anything for this year?
Not at all. We have to start the process completely over. We have to work to make this a connected and selfless team. We have to approach it with a day-by-day commitment to the things that we know drive success. The expectations are just as high this year as they were last. In our own mind, we set ambitious goals, and then we work day to day to make those a reality. So we're going to keep doing the same things that we've done, hopefully do it a little better. I hope that I can grow as a leader and as a coach to help put this group in a position to reach their potential. And ultimately, we want to make this the greatest year of Madonna basketball, but not just from a wins and losses perspective, but from the experience and the enjoyment and the time that we get to spend together. So we're really excited about the year. It's been so much fun already, and we're looking forward to making each and every day from now until we hope Kansas City as fun as it possibly can be as well.
Thank you so much, Coach.
That's
Coach Noel Emmenizer talking about the upcoming 24-25 season. The Crusaders trying to defend their throne as regular season champions. We'll kick it to the on-the-court action. The leading scorer from last year, Brendan Young. We'll start off the on-the-court action with Brendan Young. Brendan, first 2 years here, pretty darn good, if you have to say so. You guys had a lot of success. You were a good part of that team. Last year, some seniors graduate going into the year, and you have an even bigger role. What was that like for you, seeing your game just blossom as a whole, but also just seeing your game on the court just take another level?
Yeah, I mean, my first 2 years, we had some pretty good guys, as you guys know. I didn't really have – I mean, I had a big role, but I was just, rebound, catch and shoot when I needed. And then I knew going into last year that I was going to need to, up my game a little bit, have a bigger role on offense especially. And I thought that our coach did a good job of putting us in situations where, guys like me, Isaac, and Matt can succeed, and so we did.
And then we talk about you're on the court with scoring, but we go to the rebounding category. You're currently third all-time here at Madonna, and you're one of the best rebounders not only in the conference but in the country as a whole. How do you go about doing that? You're not that 6'10", board-grabbing, center, stereotypical build. How does 6'5" Brendan Young be one of the best rebounders in the country?
Yeah, I mean, I've always had a good knack for reading the ball off the rim. I've had coaches in the past that have helped me with that, and being my size with the amount of rebounds I get, it's just about effort. I want that ball. It's not just a skill that you can develop. I mean, it's all natural.
And then we just got to go back to last year, that round of 32 game here. Shawnee State, gym's the most packed it's probably ever been in history at ACCU Arena. You guys win. You drain 2 big free throws to force a full court shot, and then you let out probably the loudest roar I think I've ever seen towards your bench as the court is stormed. What was that like for you? The emotion of the entire thing, but also just accomplishing that, getting this school where it's never been before.
Yeah, I mean, that was an unbelievable atmosphere. Credit to all the students and all the support that we had. And that was one more step in, our big goal at the end of the day was going to Kansas City. And then after, that final buzzer went off, that was just an unbelievable feeling and a feeling I'll never forget.
Thank you, Brendan. We'll kick it aside to Matthew McClellan on the other end. Sean Masson now joined by fifth-year center Matthew McClellan. Matt, let's go back to the fall 2020. Coming as a freshman, it's a pretty loaded big man room, and you have a pivotal role off the bench for a couple of years behind names like Mark Meddy, Henry Spate, etc. And then last year, your first as a starter. It's a big first year as a starter. You make second team all-conference, and you have a very good role in this team. What was it like sitting behind those greats like Mark Meddy, like Henry Spate, for a couple of years, kind of learning and then taking that leap last year and maybe another one this year?
Yeah, I have a ton of respect for those guys. Can't say enough about Mark and Henry and all the things that they taught me. And I feel like those guys knew that I'd have a role in the future, and they did everything they could to prepare me. And I feel like it left me ready for last year and for this year.
And then you talk about last season. You've always been a force in the post. But last year, you come out of the gates firing. You shot nearly 40% from three for the first couple months of the season, including a big performance at Indiana Tech where you made 3 of 6 in a victory over the Warriors. What was that like for you, developing that part of your game, and now that you have another offseason going into your graduate year? What is that like knowing your game's going to improve even more this year?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I always shot the ball when I was in high school, and it felt like getting into college, three-point line move back, had to continue to work at that and maintain that consistency. And I feel like I got closer to that last year, want to get even better this year. This year I hope to be able to be more flexible, play the 4 and the 5, things like that.
And then you guys were a young-ish team last year, we'll say, but you graduate a few big seniors in the leadership category, especially in Devin Dunn, Ryan Nunn, etc. What is it like for you? You're the vet now. I know it's weird to say, but you are the veteran of this team.
Yeah.
What is it like for you? What leadership responsibilities have you really taken on throughout the preseason, the offseason, going into the year to try to get this team ready?
For sure, yeah. It definitely feels weird to be the fifth-year guy here now, but I accept that role. I mean, I really try to, teach the young guys as much as I can, but, everybody's a leader here, and I think we all do our best to lead from our own position, and I'm ready to, accept the role I'm in now.
Thank you, Matt. That's Matthew McClellan. We'll keep it on the trend of the senior leaders. We'll kick it off to Ethan Immersion on the other side. Sean Masson now joined by senior guard Ethan Immersion. Ethan, throughout your career here, nearly 35% three-point shooter run, nearly 400 attempts through 3 years. You graduate 2 big shooting names in the backcourt last year in Devin Dunn, Ryan Nunn. What was this offseason like for you, knowing the opportunity you have to step into an even bigger role, this year?
Yeah, I just worked on all season, just getting healthy at first. I've been having back problems, so that was like the main priority, and then just staying in the gym, trying to get in shape, getting ready for the season.
And then you guys last year had a really good year. You accomplished some things that this program has never accomplished before. What was that like? What was that like for you? You come in here as a freshman. You guys have pretty good seasons here and there. But last year, just take a big leap. What was that like for you last year, just to see that leap happen?
I mean, it was just great to see like all the work we've done, just the process we do. We keep getting better every year. So hopefully we can keep that trend up.
And then we talked about the graduating seniors last year, and we talked about it a little bit with Matthew McClellan, but we'll touch base on you. You're one of the veterans now on this team. You're more of a leader, more expected of you, some would say. What has this offseason been like for you? What has it been mentally for you to get ready for that kind of leadership role this year?
Just try to enjoy it last season. We've been playing with some of these guys for 4 years, so just enjoy it. Just have fun with it.
Thank you, Ethan. That's Ethan Immersion. We'll kick it aside to Isaac Anderson to finish things off. We finish it out with Isaac Anderson. Isaac, last year, pretty good start to the year, but after the first 2 months, you just flipped the switch. What was that like for you, getting integrated into this team, just getting into the system that Coach Neulenheiser runs?
I just think it started out with confidence, just coming out on the court and just believing that I can do what I work on all summer or just in the off season.
And then you can't keep his name out of it, but you guys graduate Devin Dunn, one of the main facilitators of the team last year. You've always been an attacking guard. You've always been great with your head down going to the basket. How do you see your game kind of evolving this year, maybe to take that facilitating role on?
I think it's a couple of guys on the team that step up with that role. I do think that coming in this year, I would have to take on more of getting my teammates involved and putting them in good positions to make great plays and get good goal shots as we seek out our offensive possessions.
We go back to last season. You guys accomplished some things that have never been accomplished before by this program. What was those emotions like? And then going into this year, you return a lot of the pieces. What is kind of the feeling with the team that you can do these things? You know what you're capable of.
Yeah, last year was a lot of fun playing with the guys and getting really close with the team, all the traveling, the Kansas City run. It was just all a great fun season. It was fun to be a part of. This year, I think we're all coming in with high expectations. We all have the same goal. We're all looking to make it back to Kansas City, but we're not satisfied with just making it to Kansas City this year. We're trying to make a run at that national championship.
Thank you so much, Isaac. That's Isaac Anderson. We finish up with everyone. The only thing left to do is play some basketball. We're inching closer and closer to Crusader basketball on the court. It'll be here on the Madonna Athletics Network shortly.